Welcome to Survivor NSFW, the unauthorized Survivor podcast, where Johnny Fairplay and myself talk Survivor every week. And tonight was another episode of Island of the Idols. And Johnny Fairplay, the most interesting thing about this episode is there was no Island of the Idols.
A refreshing change. this might be my favorite episode of the season. And amazingly, we got character development across the board because Survivor is a 1 hour show. After commercials, it's about 42 minutes. And then after the Boston Rob and Sandra experience that we're treated to each and every week, we're down to about 30 minutes with this cast of 20 people. It's so many people to really get, a feel of what makes them tick, what we should like and not like about them. And I think we kind of peeled the layers of the onion a little more tonight. And I learned that I like Karishma less. And I like, and just for the little bit that we saw of Jamal, I liked him even more.
Me too. So Here's my thing. So Island of the Idols, leading up to season 39, there was all the controversy. People were making fun of the statues. People were like, "Oh, I'm overseeing Sandra and Rob, right?" And so the expectations were like kind of all over the place. Now I've kind of liked some of the Island of the Idols stuff, right? But as you said, it does. I feel sorry for the newbies with all the time being taken away, and it really not being really that groundbreaking, right?
Yeah, I mean, it might have added some extra eyeballs in that there are many, many fans of Boston Rob and Sandra.
Right.
So I'm not. Let's not discount that in any way.
No.
But they've used Boston Rob and Sandra as a vehicle to attract more eyeballs. Mission accomplished. So let's pull back a little bit. Not necessary on every episode. Like if they do every other, going forward, I can live with that.
But what's the point though of like, you know what I mean? They're not gonna give up on this theme. But here's my thing, dude. How far, for the people listening out there, it's like every episode that you watch, it's a 3-day period of time. It's all edited down to the best stuff. A lot of stuff doesn't get shown. So
Matt's gameplay.
That's right. That's right. So my thing is, man, is like, are these edited far enough? There's no possible way that they could have heard the buzz of people like, I want to hear more of the newbies and just edit it out. They just did this way ahead of time. And
well, I mean, I don't know how far ahead they are, but right. I don't think that anyone was sent to the Island of the Idols because they weren't getting feedback while they were filming it.
Right. Yeah. True.
So they made the decision not to have an Island of the Idols this 3-day break.
Right.
So, and I think that was a smart, as I said, there's so much, I think they knew that with the tribe swap that you need 42 minutes to explain these new dynamics between the newly formed swapped tribes.
Oh yeah. I'm actually happy that it went down the way it was. So tonight is the episode that can be really good for some people and it can be really bad. Yeah. So on my season of Caramoan, it was really bad. And a lot of times it can be that way. So the game starts out, it's day 12. Dean, he feels blindsided, which tonight's vote, he was blindsided yet again.
Yeah.
We earlier in the season, we didn't see any confessionals or anything of Dean. He was invisible, right?
Yes.
We actually saw quite a bit of Dean in this episode.
Learned so much about Detective Dean Kowalski.
Yeah, so he becomes this exactly. He turns into this, I'm going to get to the bottom of how I didn't know and about the vote and who was the kingpin of the vote. So he starts going up and starts interrogating, you know, Elaine and Karishma and Aaron and Elizabeth. But
One at a time.
And it's so funny though, because like, was it me or when he's like interrogating like Aaron and Elizabeth, they were lying. They just look like bad liars.
I mean, I think
I could see right through it.
Yeah, but I think there was also enough truth in their answers in that he was like, these ain't the motherfuckers that sent her home.
Right.
Like they know who it didn't that name didn't come out of nowhere. They know who, but they weren't their answers weren't so libelous in that it pointed the finger at them.
Right.
It was enough that he got enough information that okay, it's someone else.
Right.
So.
Well, and honestly, man, like it's hard when you're getting called out after, you know, a tribal council vote. That happened to me on countless times. Right?
Yeah, every time.
So
you like, fucked over your boys every single time.
I know.
We're wondering. All right, so we do a thing on the Patreon side of things called the Castaway Watch Along, in which we watch a previous season, and we did the entire Pro Islands season, and you know, I had arch enemies, Andrew Savage and Sandra Diaz Twine, and to a lesser extent, you know, Dara Johnson join us for the podcast because, you know, let bygones be bygones. Time has passed. We're all friends now. We can look back with the fondness or maybe lack thereof, but still we're friends. You fucked over Eddie and Reynolds so bad they don't even watch Survivor. And as a result, the Castaway Watch Along for Caramoan is incomplete because we just keep having Eric the ice cream scooper every other episode.
Right. That was crazy. But yeah, it is, man. When you're doing damage control and getting called out and stuff, it's an exhausting thing playing the game of Survivor, you know, and you see that tonight. You know, Dean is obviously pissed, and Missy's kind of just like he's talking to her about it, and you know, as far as Missy goes, man, like she's a cutthroat player, dude.
She's a player like her. I like Missy a lot. Like I thought last week she was I think she's playing an aggressive game, and I respect that, and I'm all for that. I have no problem with an aggressive game, but I felt that there was almost an arrogance to her gameplay that could work against her, and I felt that with the satisfaction of the Chelsea blind side, she reeled it in a little bit on the arrogant side of things, but is still there with the aggressiveness, and that's a player that I can support and champion going forward. I loved it. So because I was a little worried. I just felt that she was straddling that line, and I think she's on the right side of it right now going forward.
Right. So, now looking
and
back,
Aaron's right there with her, but like I just kind of felt that he was kind of outside that loop because those girls were just running so much on that initial Lyra tribe.
Right. Now looking back at last week's vote when Chelsea went home, are you still bummed that she's gone?
Yeah, I mean,
I am. I listened to an exit interview today. Yeah. And she was literally, dude, crying and majorly bummed and emotional because she's a huge fan.
Well, I mean, a huge fan would know, don't get in a showmance. And Dean's already moved on to he's ready for another showmance.
He is. So
Dean's learned nothing.
Dude, he hasn't. I mean,
Detective Dean hasn't detectivied his way into going, hey, keep your blue chew boner in your pants, brother.
Right. You know, he's been consistent on the whole way he's playing this game, kind of clueless, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But we have been getting to see, you know, it's kind of like we've spoken before, dude, about, you know, Kara Kay's boyfriend. What's the dude's name?
Alec.
Yeah.
Just had his birthday. Went to Catalina for his birthday. Mike White went down with his significant other and Kara Kay, Alec's significant other. Looks like they had a good time.
Right.
So
Oh, yeah.
happy belated birthday, Alec, who hates Johnny Fairplay and refuses to sign anything for him. But I get it signed
he
anyway,
seemed
so
like,
it's okay.
that the Alec, we saw in his season was like nothing in the beginning, and then he turned out to be kind of a likable guy. So
Yeah.
I think Dean, I'm on the fence about how Dean's going to do, but
I think a very similar edit and a very similar player and probably a very similar outcome.
Right. Oh yeah. So it's drop your buffs time, dude.
Yeah.
So
Drop your buffs.
Yep. Drop your buffs. And we have on the new Vokai, it's a 4-4 split. We have Dan, Jason, Tommy, and Lauren from the original Vokai, and from the original Lyra, we have Aaron, Missy, Elizabeth, and Elaine. So
look at Matt with the notes.
I do.
How long did you have to pause to do that?
Dude, I take notes on a notebook. So it's funny, but it works for me. I'm kind of old school, but
new school Johnny Fairplay learns how to use his.
Yeah. You do. And then the new Lyro tribe is Dean, Tom, Jamal, Janet, Kelly, Nora, Karishma, and Jack.
Yeah, and that's a 5-3 split with 5 Vokai and 3 Lyro.
Yeah, and so right off the bat, you can visibly tell. That the
on
new
paper,
Vokai is
monsters.
Yeah, and it reminded me, dude. I feel like Johnny Fairplay bringing up my season this episode, but literally, I dealt with the same thing. It's like I'm on this tribe of the older people, like people like Cochran and Phillip, and all the young athletic people are, on the other tribe. So it just kind of brought back memories. And so what they did is they passed around these little baskets, and you undo the basket and find your buff. The challenge that they're about to go into once this swap happens is the biggest, like, over the top Applebee's commercial that you could possibly imagine. It was insane. Like, the biggest Survivor reward in the history of Survivor
ever.
And then everyone is over the top, dude, about Applebee's. They had to have been coached.
I have never seen people more excited about Applebee's in the history of Applebee's. Like, have you ever been to Applebee's?
Yeah, I used to go with BMX buddies and get like the 2 for $20 thing, but I haven't been there. I mean, dude, I just couldn't believe how over the top
Applebee's sucks.
It was.
We have such amazing sponsors as Blue Chew. We got Manscaped joining us in a couple weeks. We will never have Applebee's, but even if you want to see a forced read, me attempting to tell you that Applebee's doesn't suck donkey dick would be a bigger lie. Oh, we'll get to that. It would be a bigger lie than the dead grandma lie. Me saying that Applebee's is stomachable.
Dude, it was fun. I mean, the food did look good, but it was just so hilarious how unbelievably, like, every little confessional of people were like, "Oh my God, this is the best restaurant ever."
Well, Tommy is like, all the fixins, Jeff. All the fixins. I think that was a shout out to Max and Corinne.
Oh, I'm sure it was.
So R.I.P. the All the Fixins podcast. They had some fun stuff over there. But no, Karishma took the cake. Not the blue ribbon brownie cake, but as far as a survivor with the worst taste ever, when she explains that Applebee's is her favorite sit-down restaurant. Apparently, Karishma has only gone to Wendy's and McDonald's other than Applebee's for her sit-down restaurants. Matt, name 300 sit-down restaurants better than Applebee's.
Oh, dude, yeah,
because you could,
right, yeah,
easily.
Yep. That's exactly why Applebee's is. I mean, if I'm Applebee's, I'm like, man, I got a pretty good commercial on television, right? I mean, like, everyone thinks so. Props to Applebee's. I mean, Preston Ritter says Outback is his favorite. So real quick, someone asked, what's worse, Survivor Pizza or Applebee's? I haven't had Survivor Pizza, so I would probably say
I've had Survivor Pizza.
what's
Survivor
worse?
Pizza sucks, but I would rather have it than Applebee's. I would rather have. I mean, like Applebee's is probably my least favorite chain restaurant on the planet. Like
did this infomercial change your mind?
No, like I'm just like that shit sucks. It was just a reminder that they fucking suck.
That's hilarious, man.
I ate. I literally like. I don't.
Next time you come to Cincinnati, we're going to Applebee's, dude.
Fuck you. I'll sit in the car like Rob C at Disneyland. I went with Rob C at Disneyland one time. He didn't leave the car.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh
There's a story behind it.
Oh man, well, what to do?
Patreon Q&A. Ask me that one.
Oh yeah. Don't forget, people, if you're a patron, ask them. So
no, I'm not telling that story.
I know you won't. So we go into this challenge actually, which is pretty gnarly. It's that your hands and feet are bound.
Yeah.
You're squirming like a snake.
Yeah, you have to slither.
You got to slither.
Yeah.
And there's sand in your mouth. It's really gnarly, and you got to go over these like pretty big mounds of sand. Yeah. And then at the end,
I don't know if they're that big.
It's a wooden puzzle. Vokai wins.
Yeah. Well, but let's talk about how they do in the challenge. You have old Janet slowing down old Tom.
Right.
Karishma might have been moving backwards at one point.
Yeah, I mean she's terrible at challenges.
Jamal not impressed. And then we have Nora somehow, I'm guessing using her bulge in her bikini bottoms, pulls Karishma through Herbalife Faith to the finish, and it doesn't matter.
No, it doesn't. And man, Nora had it looked like she almost had a fat lower lip, dude, from like eating, rubbing her face against the sand.
She had sandburn.
It looked exhausting, dude. Yeah. Honestly, like people were kind of like just, face down in the sand afterwards. That doesn't look like something very, very fun, that challenge. But at the end of the day, Vokai wins, and we go to the Applebee's.
We make our way to the Outback Shack.
That's right.
That's the same Outback Shack from before with the new paint job on the sign. Yeah, it's like all the old Toys R Us's.
Right.
Like our old Toys R Us now is a Big Lots.
Yeah. Oh, really?
And it's like, oh man, that's old Toys R Us.
Yeah.
So when I saw that, like, hey, look, it's out. It's like, oh, that's old Outback.
Yeah, and
so it was Outback, and then the Tiki Bar, and now it's Applebee's.
And Applebee's, yeah.
So they just, I'm guessing it's poor management out there because they just can't keep a place open. I mean, it's always being renovated for something new. So I'm hoping maybe Hooters by the season 42, and I'm in.
Right.
I got no problem. You know what my favorite sit down restaurant is? Hooters.
Oh man. Well, they're feasting on fajitas, margaritas, wine, beer.
No, they were not. They were drinking shark pools, Matt. They have the gummy shark in there, and they were contributing to people becoming alcoholics.
Yeah,
because they made it sound so good.
Yeah, that's true. But the one thing,
it was the best drink Karishma's ever had because it was, part of her favorite sit-down restaurant she's ever been to.
Oh God, dude!
Fuck Applebee's. And what Tommy says, I won't forget Applebee's for the rest of my life.
Yeah, yeah.
You know what? Next time you're looking at your fucking Disney mugs, Tommy, why don't you think about Applebee's and kill yourself? I'm so upset about this Applebee's thing, Matt.
I know. Well, I was kind of upset that there wasn't any.
I don't want Tommy to kill himself. He seems like a good dude.
He is a good
dude. But
I
don't want, honestly, dude, don't think about Applebee's for the rest of your life. Think about something good, please. How
come there wasn't a
clue?
Yeah, I thought there would be some. That's what I like about some of the rewards like this is seeing
the person find it and be all sneaky. Yeah. But that shit's saved for Boston Rob and Sandra to ask you to do a lame thing that means nothing.
I guess so, because there was, and I don't even know. I mean, people had to be smart enough to try to look for stuff.
There's some gamers out there. Yeah. No, they like, and I think they would have, I mean, I would think that they would show the clue and be like, you're idiots.
Right.
So.
Well, it's someone mentions like, hey, it's a honeymoon phase right now. All is fun and games, but the thing is, things are going to get crazy when a vote happens to where you gotta,
Oh yeah, Elaine's not happy that everybody's kind of getting along.
Right. No, and I mean, at this point, so let's talk about Elaine. Like,
yeah,
I'm a fan of Elaine, but I haven't, we haven't seen a whole ton since like the first episode of Elaine. Now we did see stuff tonight, including the only thing we should be talking about wrestling on this podcast.
Oh man,
is is a point where we see Missy and Elaine wrestling each other.
Yeah,
and I was like, man, Fairplay's got to love this. It's like damn Glow Wrestling right now.
Well, I'm sitting there watching, and Elaine gets the takedown, and I'm just like, she's going for the ground and pound. Yeah. I mean, she is literally gonna ground and pound on Missy.
Yeah.
And if you want to ground and pound, you know who to call. Go to BlueChew.com. That's blue like the color blue, baby. Woo! Remember them days when you were always ready to go, ready to lay down the law. Ground and pound, pound town, slam town. We bring it all home. We're talking BlueChew.com, the first chewable with the same FDA-approved active ingredients as Viagra and Cialis, so you know they work.
Hell yeah, dude. You can take them anytime, day or night, even on a full stomach. And since they're chewable, they work twice as fast as a pill, Johnny Fairplay. So you can be ready whenever the opportunity arises.
You do your job. Mm-hmm. Whoever you're with, they're leaving with the full stomach. That's what Blue Chew's there to do. Help you bring it home, brother. A little extra off. Dude.
That's right.
I am not only a reader of these advertisements. Yes. I am a user and abuser of this product, Matt. I can tell you right now. I mean, my girlfriend's 26 years old, Matt. 26.
Right,
dude. I got Blue Chew coming out of a Pez dispenser at this point. like I'm just like, hey, where we like there's holes in the wall, not because I'm an abusive person, because I'm doing damage. You take a Blue Chew, what happens, Matt? Hashtag super hard dick.
That's right. And right now, our listeners can get a free, basically, thing of Blue Chew. All you gotta do is pay $5 shipping.
Yeah, it's free. We're giving away super hard dicks for free. That's how cool this There's no other Survivor podcast in the history of Survivor podcasts that give away super hard dicks.
That's right. And you can use the code Survivor to get this deal. You go to BlueChew.com. That's BlueChew.com. Promo code Survivor. You just pay $5 shipping, and the rest is history. And you're going to be loving all night long like Johnny Fairplay and his young chick.
Yeah, dude, I mean, it's Blue Chew. It's prescribed online. It ships straight to your door, discreet package, no in-person doctor visit, no waiting at the pharmacy, no awkwardness. The only awkwardness is what you're going to do with your super hard dick. That's the only awkwardness you're going to experience. Dude, these are made in the USA, and Blue Chew prepares and ships direct. They're cheaper than a pharmacy. Boom. Go to BlueChew.com. Use the promo code Survivor. Get yourself a super hard dick. Just pay the $5 shipping and send those pics to Matt Bischoff.
No.
He's on Twitter at Matt Bischoff. Slip into his DMs. Show him your hashtag super hard dicks.
Oh my God. Only if it's Richard Hatch.
He's a grower, not a shower. You know, Blue Chew could help Richard Hatch, from what I've heard.
Well, if Richard Hatch, you're listening, go get yourself some free Blue Chew.
Yeah, just $5 shipping. Use promo code Survivor.
Right on, dude. Well, dude, we see Karishma, man. She's wanting to flip. Karishma knows she's screwed at some point. I mean, you would think the obvious. I mean, if I'm playing, dude, like Karishma is going to be on my radar. It's like, dude, you have to, you can't keep losing challenges.
Well, she rats out Dean and Tom right out of the bat. She's like, those guys are tight, and I'm ready to flip with you, Kelly, right now. And it's like, well, Karishma she's playing.
Oh, she is. Yep, yeah. She is. And she's got no choice but to. And we find out that Dean and Kelly are talking, and how random is it that basically Dean dated some chick for like 6 years, and Kelly goes to school with Dean's ex-girlfriend. That's
goes to business school with her, and I'm guessing she might be Korean, because I guess they dated and then she went to Korea to teach or whatever. So I don't know. There's, once again, Dean screwed over Chelsea's game by his lustful Blue Chew eyes.
Right.
And now he's attempting to fuck up Kelly's game.
Right. Yeah. So
we also saw Tom and Janet aligning, because why? They're both old.
Yeah, right. Yeah. And it was interesting. We see Karishma, getting emotional, which she's gotten emotional a lot. Karishma has painted her own self as an outsider, which I think is a dumb move. I think if she gets a little more confidence built up, and maybe
I think she played more of an insider game tonight than she has in the previous 12 days.
Oh, she did. So she's getting emotional talking about her husband. She comes from a families where you have these arranged marriages, which I cannot even imagine.
I could, as long as they were hot and 20 years younger than me. I mean, that sounds perfect. I mean, you wouldn't be into that?
No. If I couldn't, because I mean, if you're not a cool person, dude, I don't care what you look like or how young. You know what I mean? It's just like, but it's interesting, Karishma coming out of her shell, and I think that is, it's gonna pull on some heartstrings of people, knowing that Karishma is just a real person, just like everyone else, and yeah, maybe she sucks at challenges, but Survivor's not all about challenges. But I still think, God, Karishma can't possibly stay that much longer unless they're wanting to just drag her, all the way to the end, because there's no way Karishma could win, in my opinion.
Well, as far as pulling on the heartstrings, Matt, I'm sitting there, Karishma directly states her purpose in the game is to figure out her marriage. I think maybe instead of Survivor, possibly marriage counseling, psychiatrist, talking to your pastor or whatever that relatable role is in her religion. Do you think that Survivor is the best place to figure out a marriage for a person? Because that's not what most people go there for.
I think Survivor for a lot of people, could be at a time in their life where they're trying to figure out the next step. People quit their jobs to go out and play this crazy game, and it makes a lot of younger people, I think, grow up. I mean, it also makes you appreciate. That's
what you
one
have.
thing. Yeah. So being out there away from everything, it does make you appreciate the things that you do have. Like, man, I'm, it doesn't make you take things for granted anymore when you come. I mean, when I go home and if there's just water that I can drink, bottled water, I'm happy, because when you're out there, you don't have, clean water to drink. So I think it's a learning experience, and Survivor is one of those games. It's it's the most amazing game on the planet. And the reason I still love it season after season is the social, like the psychology, the sociology, just the human experiment that it is. And it's cool to see these things play out, man. So,
Well, when I go back to play Survivor, Matt, I am going to. My purpose is to win $1 million.
right.
It's not to figure out my marriage or
No, or to be, I mean, but the thing is, there's a lot of people that go on there to try to get famous. And that's why I love the fact that this cast, Johnny, is your normal
not that
everyday
cast.
people. Right. It's not the, I want to get a modeling contract cast, So,
I think Nora is delusional enough to think that maybe this is step one to stardom.
Nora, yeah, well, but really, you think she's gonna be a star?
She can be the number one Herbalife retailer in her market of wherever she lives.
Well, Nora. So speaking of Nora, she's I always kind of like those characters, like the Crazy Debbies,
Yeah.
because it does give it just entertainment value. At this point, are you a fan, or are you totally annoyed by Nora?
Oh, I hate Nora.
You hate Nora.
Yeah.
Well,
I can't.
Sandra at Tribal Council, I think she loves Nora.
Yeah, once again, Sandra and I will agree to disagree. This is par for the course.
So
nothing new with me and Sandra's views on Survivor and the people in and around it.
Right. Well, yeah. Comment if you love, who loves Nora and who hates Nora on our social media. You can find us at Survivor NSFW. And we got a website, survivornsfw.com. So, let us know what you think. And also, if you like what you're hearing on our podcast, we do some bonus content for our patrons. So if you want to support our podcast and get some really cool things such as buffs, autographed pictures, etc.,
autograph poster.
Yeah, an autograph poster, and then also be a part of our secret Facebook group. You can go to
Patreon.com/Survivor NSFW. That's Patreon, Patreon.com/Survivor NSFW.
Yeah, and check out all the tiers. And we do, last night, or no, it wasn't last night, it was 2 nights ago, we recorded our weekly Q&A. Johnny's girlfriend was on there. You can see that episode we just did if you become a patron, as well as
how fun was my girlfriend joining the podcast?
It was super fun.
Were you ready for that? Was she did things make sense after talking to the two of us together?
Oh yeah, totally.
Yeah, we're both crazy kids.
No, yeah. So it was fun, but yeah, check out our Patreon, and you can also get some cool T-shirts at JohnnyFairplay.com.
Yeah. Links to everything, the Patreon, the live shows. Yeah, let's just go ahead and throw it out and finish up. November 6th, I will be in Durham, North Carolina. Bret LaBelle is flying down from Boston to join me, and we will be talking Survivor Island of the Idols. We'll be watching live, and then afterwards we'll do the podcast and then a special Q&A. There is a VIP meet and greet beforehand. So if you'd like to get autographs and pics with and all that, we do that before. During the show, we're watching the show. After the show, we're doing the podcast. After the podcast, we're doing the Q&A. Then we're getting the fuck out of Dodge. We're not trying, so you can enjoy with us. But if you want the autographs and a Survivor buff and everything else that goes with that, please go VIP. But we still want, all of you guys to enjoy the show as we do together. So go to survivortix.com. That's survivortix.com, and you can join us. So it's not only myself. It's Bret LaBelle. It's Molly from Island of the Idols. Oh, sorry. Surprise castaways. Molly from Island of the Idols, Dr. Allison from David vs. Goliath, Jane Bright from Survivor Nicaragua, and Keith from Edge of Extinction. just let me know a few minutes ago that he'll be there. And rumor and innuendo says that Zane Knight will also be joining us. So maybe possibly Jeremiah Wood. He just reached out. So
Cool.
it will be a packed house of survivors. If you want the opportunity to watch Survivor with survivors, it's a really cool experience. We get into it. I assure you, it's crazy. And the podcast afterwards will be wild. And then the Q&A, which will be a Patreon exclusive. We'll also be filming that and recording that. So it's a fun time. Go to survivortix.com, survivortix.com. That's in Durham, North Carolina at Dirty Bull Brewing Company. And that's Wednesday, November 6th. So only 2 weeks away. Get your tickets now.
Right on. So after we see Krishma talking about, her and her husband, and she's on a quest to figure out her marriage, we go to the Vokai tribe where Elaine and Missy are wrestling.
Yeah.
And we also see Aaron and Tommy talking. I actually like those guys, man. Like,
I like them individually. As a pair, I might like them even more. So because they can use each other as shields, like as they explain to one, like Aaron tells Tommy, like, I'm gone, you're next, and vice versa. So no, they're both smart, good looking, athletic. They were meant to be together. So
I think it's a good pair. I'm excited to hopefully see that alliance blossom. Yeah. I also like Aaron's socks, man.
I loved Aaron's socks. So that really
what
cool.
A great idea. Like, to be able to have those, like, I would have loved to have that.
So like, if you were to go back, would you like have socks with like my face on them? Probably. I mean,
no, I don't know who I'd have.
Well, what if I were you? I would have one sock with Ryder and one sock with Cannon.
Well, that's probably what I would do. But
you would hurt my feelings.
Or I would have like,
just pick a kid you like. Pick a kid you like better.
They're the same. I would just have Tessa's ass printed on the socks.
Okay.
So that's
if you had to pick one kid, what kid do you like better? I'm not going to isolate the clip and play it for the kid when I see him.
I do like his socks, but we go to day 14, dude. The immunity challenge. Okay, and this is basically. It ends up.
Real quick, we also learned that Lyra was dead to Missy and Aaron.
Right, we did.
Yeah.
We did.
But it doesn't look like that's the case next week when it looks like a potential spoiler that they're going to tribal and they're willing to draw rocks.
Yeah, man. Yeah. Right.
Real quick, going back in time a little bit. We right when we first see the I guess the new Lyra tribe, or I think it's the Lyra. Anyway, Jason is doing a confessional, and has he officially become Rob C? Like he even sounded like Rob C, didn't he?
Well, yeah, and he's a Survivor fan.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like I don't know.
But you're a Survivor fan, and you didn't sound like Rupert when you went out there.
No, I'm my own person, but certain people like might have their influences. But yeah, he's Rob C-esque.
The poor man's Rob C. Let's not. He's like the Bush Light Rob C.
Right on. Yeah. Hell yeah, Bush Light.
I think I have a T-shirt coming.
Dude, the Bush Light Rob C.
Yeah.
Oh God. So,
Jose, get on it.
We're at day 14, man. This immunity challenge. It's a basketball, like I said, kind of challenge. And Dean, is a Division One. Was a Division One basketball player.
Yeah, we learned so much about Dean. I mean, like, this was the Dean coming out party, and learning that he was a Division One basketball player. I think that explains why he wore the Jordan 1s. So why I rock them is still a mystery.
It's fashion, bro. It's fashion. But yeah, I mean, the challenge is a cool challenge. You swim out to a platform with your tribe. You climb up this ladder, and I noticed like it's a really tall ladder, and some people are diving off that thing, and it's like, man, do you know that the water is that deep out there. You know what I'm saying? Because sometimes the tide is different and whatnot.
Yeah, I think I think no, because that challenge, it has the underwater
Yes, it's got to be
ball, so
deep enough to
it
get.
has to be deep enough for that. So yeah, no, I would like I thought it was a little ballsy of Elaine to be diving, but I love Elaine's fun.
She is
Elaine
fun.
is a
She
fun
just,
character. I just like her to get more confessionals.
yeah,
So
I know.
20 people's just too many. Like
Yeah,
I mean, I want as many. Well, I don't really care if, but I try to be nice and say, hey, I want everybody to be on Survivor, but I really
right.
don't.
Yeah,
So no, going forward, I think 18 is a nice cap
yeah,
on
right.
the amount of people. And as I said, go back. I thought Pearl Islands was one of the greatest seasons ever because we started with 16 people, and by episode 4, I think you knew everyone.
Yeah, and that's important. Knowing the cast, is that's why sometimes it's like the last half of Survivor, like post merge, gets really good because you really have these stories built up. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? So,
Like Game of Thrones, like they're like, when you sit down and watch Game of Thrones, they're just like, here's 20 characters. It's like, motherfucker, there's 20, like none of their names are, like Billy and Steve. They're all like Tyranius and like Daenerys, it's like,
right,
oh my,
right,
you're killing me here. And so by the time you get to the end of the first season, it's like, okay, I know everyone's name. I kind of like him. I kind of like her. I don't like him. I hate her, blah, blah, blah. And then like season 2 starts is like, here's 20 more motherfuckers. I'm like, fuck you. Like, really?
right.
we just had 20 people. You're giving me 20 more?
Yeah,
I don't need another, like, we don't need another kingdom here. Okay.
yeah, right,
We
right.
got 4 kingdoms already. Stop
Yeah,
it.
yeah, yeah, man. I hear you. All I know is this challenge ended up becoming a showdown between Tommy and Dean,
Missy
and
held her own too. I mean, like
she did, she
she only
did.
nailed the first one. I mean, but she was smooth. I mean,
She was smooth, dude. But I tell you what, Orange is cursed, dude,
Orange is the worst
because
buff. T-shirt available
or
at JohnnyFairplay.com.
yeah, I'm just like, God, this is like flashbacks, dude. It's like, but the one thing that annoyed me was I like Tommy. I don't find anything, you know, bizarre about Tommy except his mug collection.
Yeah. Oh,
Um,
he listened. I was on with the Survivor Specialist on Sunday doing a
yeah,
prediction episode, which I was epically wrong again. So
yeah,
I told them before we started, and
right,
history repeats itself that I am horrific at predicting.
yeah,
But I'm good at analyzing. I'm an analyst.
yeah,
I'm not a soothsayer.
right, right.
So but Tommy listened and and he does not appreciate me talking about fucking his Disney mugs.
Oh God, is he pissed?
No, he loves it.
Okay, good, good. Well,
He's all
all
in.
I'm
He's a good. I mean, like,
he
I
is a good guy, and that's
you
why it pissed me off when Dean freaking called him a like this all tall, pale, goofball looking guy beat me at the he just kind of roasting Tommy as Rennie said here. I mean it's just kind of uncalled for. I mean maybe just I don't know. It just kind of was like, man, is Dean the douchebag that's I think he should
he
be,
in the
or is
battle.
he?
I said horrific things about the other tribe when I played
Oh, I know
Survivor.
you did. I
Yeah.
know you did. And
So
but it is what it is. But Dean, like I said, I'm curious to see where Dean goes.
Dean's a piece of shit in the
Yeah, yeah. A
comments.
lot of people are saying they don't like Dean. But anyways, Mr. Division One boy Dean, he was salty that he lost the
Yeah,
challenge.
I got no beef with that.
Yeah,
I would be like, I would say immensely worse things. So I mean, it's it sucks to lose. I mean, he was right there, and it was the comeback because you had the albatross of Karishma on your tribe. And Jeff was calling her out the entire challenge. He's just like, Karishma being slow once again.
oh yeah,
Lyra once again waiting on Karishma. I'm like, dude, like,
yeah. It was brutal. I like the challenge, and we're going, you know, leading up to tribal council. Okay,
yeah,
we know that Nora has no vote because she was not.
I don't think Nora knows that. So Nora explains to us, the viewer, that she has no vote, and she's but she further explains that she really has to think about, where the vote is going to go and how she should play it. And I'm like, what? Are you? I like, the only option Nora had was whether to print or use cursive when she wrote no vote. That was her only, but she's pontificating on where her vote should lie, other than no vote, which it will lie. So I did appreciate that they may not have shown her being crazy. She might have continued her crazy ways, but I kind of felt like she kind of laid low to kind of get a survey of the land before she went back into full Nora mode with the swap.
Yeah, right.
So, and I think there was also a little worry about. I think there's the possibility of instances in which she remembered that she had no vote, and maybe shutting the fuck up was a good move for 3 days.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
So,
well, all I know is like it's the age old thing. Going into tribal, it's like you keep the tribe strong.
Yeah. Well, so here's where I felt a little closer to Jamal, because we had Jamal breaking down, what's going down, and I thought Jamal was a smooth sounding motherfucker.
At tribal?
No, tribal, but in his confessional, like I'm just like, I want this motherfucker to be my narrator. Like he's smooth.
He's smooth. I mean, one thing I learned tonight, dude, especially at tribal council, is I really dig Janet. I think Janet's rad.
Do you have a crush on Janet?
No, I don't have a crush on her, but I think she's cool.
Would you take a blue chew and hang out with Janet?
No, I would not. But Jamal, dude, like Jamal seems extremely smart. He's definitely he's well spoken.
Yeah, but he's smooth. He's just a smooth motherfucker.
He is. I like him.
Yeah.
And I also, Kelly's
running the show.
She's like smart, and I'm like, dang man, like I'm liking
cute.
Kelly more and more.
Yeah. Now, I think we learn if you kind of dissect, here, and here throughout the episode. I think Kelly's run. Like Kelly is in my top 3 right now.
Well, we even see a thing where she's like, she says something like she's talking to Dean. She's kind of willing to maybe work with him, but then she's like, long term, I don't know.
She's like she's there. This is someone I can work with. I think he's great. I think, and she's like, and all those things point to someone that I don't need in the game.
Yeah, I know. So, like, what I am digging at the end of the day, that the tribe ended up sending Tom home.
Yeah,
and Tom was a good sport about. I think he was just excited to have played the game.
Yeah.
They kept saying he's a straight shooting guy.
Well, I think Tom. I think the straight shoot. I think Tom dropped the ball with Janet. I think Janet has a lot of clout on that tribe, along with Kelly. I think Kelly's number one in command, and Janet is her muscle. Mm-hmm. And I think Tom could have sealed that deal with Janet, but he didn't. Like, he was just like, hey, like, I'm here, I'm honest, you want the tribe stronger, like, this is what I'm off. But he didn't offer, like, I think all Tom had to say was, Janet, me and you are solid.
Yeah,
that's all he had to say, and he never threw that on the table.
Yeah, so that's kind of his downfall, but like I said, as he's walking out of tribal, he's just cool. Good luck, guys.
Yeah.
Just a good sport. He's going to have a great time on the pre-jury trip. And
Dean, on the other hand, Dean was a tale of two stories at tribal. We learned that he did not talk to Janet. It's just like, and I think that was telling of a chauvinistic background that he's coming from. Like I think he sees girls as, potential objects of his affection, but not as his equal.
Mhm.
So, and that's just, just being a young dumb boy. You don't know any better. So,
Right. Well, and he's dumb too, because you find out yet again when you see how the votes were.
Yeah.
Like Dean,
But he
clue
did
what was going on.
but he did throw Karishma under the bus, going, "Hey, like last time I was at Tribal, I was blindsided, and Karishma was saved. She knows who saved her, and when there is a merge, she's going to run back to that person because there's a life debt."
Right.
So I think that information came a little too late. I think the decision had already been made pre-Tribal, as we discussed last week. It's just like no one really changes their mind at Tribal, but I think the rest of the tribe collectively is throwing that intel in their back pocket. Right. And as long as Dean doesn't do anything stupid before the next Tribal, that Karishma, that's not someone you want going into the merge. Someone that does owe someone on that other tribe something.
Right. So overall, Johnny, what was your take on this episode? Island of the Idols is like it was just another. It wasn't a bad episode, but there's just nothing yet that's like really compelling. You know what I mean? I think that it's going to get that way because I think there's a lot of gamers that are playing. But it's coming off of Edge of Extinction. We had a really great season with David versus Goliath, and some really great characters there, and a great season. So I think tonight, by learning a little bit more about the newbies and less about this whole Island of the Idols stuff they've been doing with Rob and Sandra was a plus. So I'm excited to see how this post swap portion of the season goes.
I think we likened the cast to the early seasons of Survivor, and I think it's kind of like a Thailand Marquesas type season. So like we look back with fondness on the early seasons, but they weren't all Pearl Islands, they weren't all Africas, and they weren't all Australias and
Cagayan and
where even more recent Cagayan, like Thailand and Marquesas were good, but they weren't spectacular.
Right.
And I think this has the potential to be a good season. Still, I feel like we're still in second gear.
I do too. Nothing's blown me away. I mean,
but I don't hate it. I mean, like I think I hated Edge of Extinction by now.
Oh, there's nothing I hate about. Like, there's nothing I hate about this season. It's just like this season is just it's just a little bit slow going. I mean, nothing, and we as people that have played the game and that dissect and talk about Survivor a hell of a lot with each other and stuff like that, and amongst other survivors, we look at it from a kind of a different point of view, maybe a little bit more critical than just a casual deal. But is Piper watching this season?
Yeah.
Is she liking it? Or my boys are kind of like
she's on her iPad half the time.
Really?
And that's probably the first time that's happened.
See, so that just shows you it's an average season. But I'm stoked, man. I think it's gonna be it's gonna end up to be a cool season.
But there's some players. I love that.
I love the cast. Yeah.
There's some players. I mean, they're playing such an aggressive game. They're not like Boston Rob said, they're not going to win any challenges now. We'll see. But I mean, but they're not thinking, who's the weakest link. They're thinking who's potentially likable, who's potentially looking to get back in the mix on the other tribe once we do have the merge. I mean, like these are very strategic votes each and every time. Right. And I applaud that through and through. And kudos to Tom for the first Canadian to ever play U.S. Survivor and the first Canadian to get voted out.
Right. Yep. Heck yeah. But yeah, I'm excited for this season. Johnny, it's been fun as always. And once again, the people that want to check out like the one-stop shop to just check out where all of our links are, just go to survivornsfw.com and that will point you in the right direction.
Yeah.
Follow Johnny and I on social media. And hey, if you're listening to this podcast, man, it'd be awesome. If you like it, then give us a 5-star rating on iTunes.
So, and also, if you're listening, because we have thousands that listen, and less, because we were just an audio podcast for, going on 3 years now. So head over to YouTube. The links are there at survivornsfw.com. Go to our YouTube, click that subscribe button. We desperately need over 1,000 YouTube subscribers because it helps us. So click that subscribe button. As soon as we hit 1,000, I'm giving away a Donathan signed buff. I'd like to thank the fine folks over at Buff for hooking us up with buffs, and it's a Ghost Island buff. So
that's awesome.
I'll be, as soon as we hit 1,000, I'm just going through, just randomly picking a name and giving that away. So please go sign up on or subscribe on our YouTube channel, and then join me live November 6th in Durham, North Carolina. That's survivortix.com. But all the links for everything, get a shirt and go Patreon. If you're not a patron or wondering what a patron is all about, we do a weekly Q&A in which you guys are added to our secret, super special Facebook group. There's a fun community there. People interact there. It's a really, really cool family there. You'll be added to that. And then, we do a Q&A every week where you ask the questions and we answer it. We also have the Castaway watch longs where you can go back and watch you watch the episode, and along with it, you watch us discussing it with Sandra, with Andrew Savage, with Burton Roberts, with Dara, with Michael Snow, with Eric the Ice Cream Scooper. And it's and of course it is the easiest and best way to support the podcast. And we have the new the Survivor Island of the Idols poster with me and Matt and our asshole statues, and that was drawn by Eric the Ice Cream Scooper, and it's autographed by me and Matt, and those are available on eBay for $20, or you can join the Idol tier for $20 and you get all the audio and video content as a patron, and you get the poster for free. And just so give that a shot.
That's the way to go. The poster is badass,
super badass, and autographed.
Yep.
So anyway, so go to patreon.com/survivornsfw. But all the links for everything is just at survivornsfw.com. And Matt, I am excited to do more of these, because like if we can take the shit show that is Applebee's and make it an entertaining 58 minutes of a podcast, I think we've done something pretty fucking amazing.
That's right. We love you guys. We love Survivor, and we will see you guys next week on another episode of Survivor NSFW. Cheers and good night, everybody.
And we don't love Applebee's.